That's
chutney and
jams and marmalades. That's all the elderflower cordial which I've been making. That's my meringues ready for tomorrow. That's my jams there ready for tomorrow. Up here we've got cakes. I've been involved in Chibholm Country Market since, well, for 32 years. When the children started school, I wanted an outlet, but I didn't want to go out to work because I wanted to be there when they came home from school and when they went off to school. And this was one way which I could make a little bit of pocket money and get out as well. Because when you're in a village, you're sort of tied. I make 4 different types of bread. I make spelt, which is made of a Roman wheat. I make a mixed seed, which contains pumpkins, sunflowers, linseed and poppy seed, and a wholemeal loaf, and a grant loaf, which is a very heavy, dense loaf, very old-fashioned loaf of bread. I make preserves, marmalades. I suppose I must make about 1,000 jars of preserves a year. Chutneys. At the moment it's all elderflower cordial, so we're filling bottles like mad. I do cakes. I provide vegetables, plants and flowers when I've got them. There's a gentleman's just turned up with his vegetables. Did I see Mr. Ball?
Yeah, Mr. Ball.
He wants some punnets and I'll just get, you go on out there and I'll just get these punnets. All right. Where's your peas? Not in that black bag.
In the black bag, yeah.
Mr. Ball lives at Blandford, you see, and he finds he can't drive at the moment, so his wife has to bring him over, and so he produces these beautiful peas like this, brings them to me, and I take them on into the market for him. There's about 50 producers, and okay, they might not produce every week. One week somebody might only bring a bunch of parsley, but we needed that bunch of parsley to sell. So it doesn't matter if they just bring a little bit or bring a lot. It's a place for people to meet, and most people have got the same ideas. They're all country lovers. They're all interested in good food and where it's come from. Right, pop those in your bag as well, Mr. Ball.
How much are you for those?
That's all right. Here we are. As long as you fill them up for me.
Yeah, I will. Next thing will be the runner beans.
That's the flowers ready picked to go into the market tomorrow.
The last of our busy Lizzies.
French beans, dwarf beans, runner beans, sweet corn, and that's the tomatoes labelled ready to go to the market, you see, and that's pumpkins and butternut squash in there. Down by the greenhouse there was peppers. Food that comes into a country market, it's usually within about a 10-mile radius at the most that has been grown or made. So therefore it's had no travel miles. It couldn't be fresher.
Morning, thank you.
We come here every week. We always have flowers from here, and then we get some of the mushrooms and the vegetables and butter and eggs. And if we're not on a diet that week, we'll get some cakes as well. If there's some fish, we always have some fish, because that's, you know it's fresh because he's caught it the day before. But if they're there, we have them out, whenever he's got them.
We usually, like either sell 2 or 4, they're 50 pence each, all clean. That's mackerel. Well, that's all I managed to catch this week. But my son went down, he went out in the boat yesterday with his friend, and they caught whiting. Even then they couldn't find mackerel. He came last night with a whiting, and then we brought it in and it's gone, just so like that. The sea was full of mackerel last week.
My name is Dawn Pattermore. I now live in Sherborne. I come to the country market here most weeks. The food is first class. It's very reasonably priced. We have to come early because it starts at 9:15. I used to live in Kent, where we had, in those days, a WI market, which was what they were called. And I used to go to that one quite frequently, but the food was a lot more expensive. Here, it is a very, very good price. All fresh vegetables, flowers. I use it a lot and I do enjoy coming here. It's lovely. Today I've got flowers to pick up from there. I have marmalade still to buy. I have a homemade chocolate cake.
People can come and meet other people. Some people don't see anybody for all week, but they come there on a Thursday morning. They have a cup of coffee, they have a chat. There's volunteers which help, and they never produce anything, but they're just so happy to come and help and talk to people and help to serve the coffee or do anything like that. Hello, Mrs. Dickey.
Hello, I can't do this thing.
One or two. You ordered one.
Okay, and I'll have one next week as well.
One next week, right, yes.
The first half an hour of this market is pandemonium. And when the vegetables come in, they just go in about half an hour. It actually walks out of the door, and then we can breathe.
We have country bunches, which have the usual country flowers from the garden in them that people can't usually buy in the florists. We do have flowers like Astromalaria, delphiniums, lilies. I'm Joyce Warren, I'm the chairman at Sherborne. I started in 1969, but I would have to look the records up for that to verify it. I joined mainly because I grew plants in those days. My garden seems to have proliferated into flowers for market. Mrs. Osmond's quite a few, and Miss Pilbeam over there. One or two other people bring the odd bunches in, which is a general rule really in markets. We all bring our excess in. That's how markets actually started.
Joyce, if you can next week, I'll be in a bit earlier. So can you get me some sweet peas?
Well, you often meet local people here, and then I often meet my mother, and we have a coffee because I've brought my son who's only 9 months, and we all meet together. It's great fun before we go to the supermarket. But I come here first. I've got some green beans and some mange tout and cabbage. Yeah, and this is beautiful elderflower cordial, made locally. It's all very organised.
I sometimes wonder whether we still have markets in sort of 40 years, but I'd like to think it was still going to continue, and that sort of healthy local food was still going to continue. It's getting the produce in, as well as, getting people to make cakes and to grow vegetables. You can seem to get plenty of plant producers, but you don't seem to be able to get the people to slog their Wednesdays in the kitchen to bring it here on a Thursday, like me.
Yeah.